In this sample problem, we are asked to balance the reaction of hydrogen gas with oxygen gas to form liquid water. First thing that we have to do is we need to write down our skeleton equation. When I write this down, I'm going to make sure I leave some space in front of each chemical so that I can add coefficients in later. So I know I have hydrogen gas reacting with oxygen gas. Remember, both molecules are diatomic, so it's H2 and O2, not H and O. And this is reacting to form water. You'll also notice I've written the states for all of these down. That's very important, and it's a good habit to get into now. So now I have my skeleton equation. This tells us the chemicals that are involved, but it's not balanced yet. So I'm going to set up the way that I like to balance these reactions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split up my page a bit. What I've done here is I've divided the page into 3 sections. In the first section, I'm going to write down the atoms that I have present. In this case, I only have hydrogen and oxygen. And then on the other sides, this represents the numbers of each of those atoms in the reactants and the products. So in the reactants, I see I have 2 hydrogens because there's 2 atoms in each hydrogen molecule. I also see I have 2 oxygens. Then on the product side, I have 2 hydrogens as well, but this time I only have 1 oxygen. So what I'm going to start doing here is I'm going to start the back and forth of me balancing this reaction. I see that my oxygens are unbalanced. I have 2 in the reactant side, but I only have 1 on the product side. I can only ever increase chemicals when I'm balancing. So I'm going to multiply the number of oxygens by 2. What this does is this brings the oxygen up to 2 as well. But when I multiply the oxygens by 2, anything I do below, I must do above. So I multiplied by 2 down below, and that means I need to add 2 as a coefficient up above as well. Now this is going to change the balance of the hydrogens. Now I have not 2 hydrogens, but I have 4 hydrogens because there's 2 hydrogens in each water molecule and there's 2 water molecules. So I have 2 groups of 2. I have 4 hydrogens on the product side. And that's okay because in order to balance chemical reactions, sometimes you do have to unbalance things that are already balanced. But I can bring this right back in line. 2 times 2 is equal to 4, so I can also multiply hydrogen by 2 on the other side. And that will bring me up to 4 as well. Anything that I do on the bottom, I must do on the top too. Now I have my balanced chemical equation. I have 2 molecules of hydrogen gas reacting with 1 molecule of oxygen gas in order to form 2 molecules of liquid water. And remember, even though we haven't written anything here, that's not 0. It's actually a 1. But the 1 is implied. Just by writing a single O2, that represents that there's 1 of them. We don't need to keep cluttering things up with the numbers as well.